When you're looking at a solarium kit, the first question you're really asking is, will this thing actually make my porch feel like an extra room without turning my whole yard into a greenhouse? And will it survive the weather without me having to rebuild it every season? That's the hesitation most of us feel when a glossy brochure promises glass-like clarity and a quick install promise. You want something that slips together on a Saturday, stays clear when the sun's at its strongest, and won't turn your backyard into a foggy mess after a rainstorm. The Palram Canopia sunroom leans on those exact expectations, and if you're weighing whether this is the right fit, the details matter more than the marketing fluff. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's break down why that matters for a home DIY project like this. First, the kit is built around a 4mm twin-wall polycarbonate roof panel that's advertised as 100% UV protected. In plain language, that means you won't have to watch the sunlight bleach your furniture or fade painted walls inside the enclosure. The twin-wall construction also creates an air gap that helps keep the interior temperature a bit more stable than a single sheet of acrylic wood. For a family that enjoys morning coffee on the deck, that can translate into a space that stays comfortably cool when the sun is strong, while still letting in enough light to feel like you're outdoors. That's a real perk when you want to set up a small table, a few chairs, and maybe a pot plant without worrying about heat buildup. The wall panels are 3mm thick translucent acrylic, also UV protected. They're marketed as clear as glass, and in practice they do give you a reasonably bright view, though not a perfect picture window clarity. If you're planning to use the space as a pantry extension or a spot for a treadmill, the translucency is usually enough to brighten the area without the glare you get from full glass panels. The downside is that the acrylic can get a faint haze over time, especially if you live in an area with high dust or pollen. That's a trade-off you have to decide. Do you value the lighter weight and lower cost of acrylic over a pristine glass surface that might stay clearer longer? One of the biggest practical strengths of the Palram system is the heavy-duty resin frame. It's engineered to be rust-free, which is a relief if you've ever dealt with metal frames that corrode after a season of exposure. The frame's durability claims maintenance-free for years, and in my experience, resin tends to hold up well even when the surrounding environment swings between hot sun and heavy rain. The hinges on the side door are sturdy enough to handle frequent opening and closing, and the included roof vent offers a simple way to release hot air on a sweltering day. For anyone who wants to keep the space ventilated without installing a full HVAC system, that vent is a practical feature you'll actually use. Installation is where the quick and easy promise gets tested. The kit comes with pre-drilled holes, brackets, and a fairly straightforward instruction set. If you have a basic toolbox drill, screwdriver, level and a handful of helpers, you can assemble the frame in a few hours. The biggest hurdle is getting the roof panels aligned correctly, especially if your deck isn't perfectly level. You'll need to double-check the pitch so water runs off the roof instead of pooling. For a DIY novice, it's a manageable challenge, but it's not a plug-and-play solution for someone who wants zero effort. Who should buy this? Picture a family with a moderate climate who wants a functional extension to a porch, deck, or patio, perhaps to protect a swing set from rain, create a mudroom for kids, or simply add an extra nook for a small table and chairs. If you live somewhere that experiences strong sun but only occasional heavy snow, the polycarbonate roof will handle the heat without warping, and the resin frame will stand up to rain and wind. It also fits people who want to avoid the hassle of a full-size greenhouse. This kit gives you a modest footprint 6 by 12 feet while still delivering the feel of being outdoors. Conversely, skip it if you're looking for a full glass enclosure that offers crystal clear visibility and the ability to install larger windows. The acrylic wall panels, while decent, won't give you the same visual fidelity as tempered glass. Also, if you reside in a region with heavy snowfall or high wind loads, the specifications for this model may not be sufficient. The resin frame and polycarbonate panels are rated for moderate weather, not extreme winter storms. Those who prefer a turnkey, fully insulated sunroom with heating and cooling options will need to consider a more robust, and usually more expensive, solution. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The maintenance-free claim holds true for the frame, but the panels will need occasional cleaning. Because the roof is polycarbonate, water droplets can leave a film if you don't rinse it off regularly. A garden.